Hey traders, what's happening? Happy Sunday. Hope you're all ready for a fantastic week ahead. Coming live to you from a hurricane, Southern California. Who would have thought that we will see hurricane in 100 years? Well, that hurricane is now downgraded to a storm, downgraded to heavy rainfall, and here we are. What is not downgraded is our market review and what we need to do to make the next week successful. So if you like this video, if you find value, hit a like, hit a subscribe. Let us know what we could do to bring you valuable content that could help elevate your trading. So with that, let's get started. Well, market's starting to get interesting, and believe it or not, my scans this week, and as I've been sharing my scans with you all, have actually yielded pretty nice scans this week. To be honest, I have few stocks that are setting up nicely, and last week can only be described as a bearish, as the daily chart continued its decline, and even up till right here when it got bought, at the end, there's nothing to do. Now, when I do my weekly review, I obviously go to the weekly chart directly, and and that's where I will build up. But what's interesting here on the weekly chart, because this is, if you were to look at this, we were in a stage 4 right here. So that's stage 3 right here. We got into stage 4, rallies were sold. Now we put stage 1 here, and then right up here we had stage 2 and then stage 2A. So currently we are in stage 2 for S&P, and we're about to be right into support, where I think it's going to be buying opportunity right around 429, 430. I was live with the traders on Friday and was really hoping for a flush in the market, but that didn't happen. Market, the worst case scenario, and this is a good point here, and I'm going to move on just for the sake of the time of the video. When you are in, let's just call it correction, as IBD is saying that we are in correction. Our Market Smith, that's where I scan. All my charts come from Market Smith, and if I were to show you, their homepage on Market Smith is right here, and it shows right here the market's in correction. And right here it's Friday's action, stock close mix, markets in correction, up down volume. This is all good, but now it's all about what we have as far as scans goes. And the scans yielded pretty good, because now the weekly chart's setting up, and that's where it's all setting up. So but this was interesting, because if you're not using this in your trading, I would highly recommend you start using this, because this is really the indicator of stock up on volume, stock down on volume. So this is good. We want to see 2 to 1, and that's when we know it's really about bottom right there. So this is, and then we go and look at the growth, up on volume, trigger alert, and what have you. But it's quite frankly the true all the work happens when I log on to the charts, and here are all the scans that I bring to you all on Sunday morning. And while it seems a lot, but once you build this scan, it takes me about a couple hours to come up with good scan, load it into my trade station, and then bring it to you all. Obviously right here, screen results, all the stuff that I have here, and then I also have scans set up. How right now, as you can see, I am all about stage 2. So that's it. Enough of that. And I don't get anything from Market Smith, but I absolutely love the scanning scanning software that it offers. So with that, let's look at it. So when you look at the market, the worst thing can happen to a market that is already down is to gap down and go sideways. What we want to see what I wanted to see on Friday, market a gap down, continue its move down, and then have a high volume bar somewhere as capitulation bar, buy the bar and hold it. It really just went nowhere. It opened right here. That's your pretty much, just call it an opening range, 434. It finished at 436. It just didn't go anywhere all day. So Qs are the same way here. Right now, that's obviously the major resistance right here. We're looking at, from the weekly chart standpoint, we're right at support. We might see 349, and 349 is a great buying opportunity for the Qs, and we'll see how tomorrow morning trading goes. But what I would love to see in the Qs is I'd love to see in the Qs for us to rally here into this area, come back, hold the 21 period moving average, and that'll be the first sign that we are stabilizing in the Qs. Now, when you think about the IWM took a very hard drop. It is actually leading the way down, but this is the one that you say, exactly from what I was saying, gap down, immediately get bought, and then continue to move higher. But if this would have came in, I would have actually bought the IWM because it's at the 200 period moving average. So we are right here at 198 and 182. So this is just eyeball it. You have 198 as the high, and then you have 182 as a low. So you got about 10%, correction here. So bull market, 10% pullback is a buyable pullback. So some of the small caps starting to look pretty good as well. While the purpose of this video is to inform you of the future of the market, I want to point out that daily chart has no clear focal area of support, and that is what's holding me back from getting into heavily into swing trading. Now, I did buy some pilot buys, and I can share that with you. So let's get started here. My number one pilot buy was Nvidia on Friday. Now this was just right at support, at the weekly support. It immediately gets bought, and right here it gets interesting here about 422. So pilot buy means it's quarter of a position. It's not even half of the position. So basically, if you're taking $100 risk on your trade, I'm using $100 as a focal point here. But if you have $100 risk on a trade, I'm only risking 25. So that's what the pilot buy. So I want to see, because it'll give us opportunity to add along the way. I think Nvidia is just outstanding. I did a video, if you want to take a look at it, on Nvidia, and I talked about this bar, and holding this bar is critical. We came in about 50% of this bar, which got me super interested in Nvidia, and the stop would be right here. Once this bar gets taken out, cancel the Christmas. I'll be happy to get out of the way, and then that's that. That said, AMD is putting a buy setup as well here. That also looks pretty darn good. So we're gonna give you some scans. Roku starting to look really good. I already have a long position in Roku, but this is just about a breakout waiting to happen in the weekly chart. So this is your breakout on Roku. Let's just call it $90. Keep an eye on it. But I already have a position. I am going to add to my position. I want to see this move, rally here, give me a higher low, and I would add to the position on Roku. So Roku's starting to look pretty darn good here. The question that you have to ask yourself, and here's why, because I did a session on Saturday live in downtown, and we talked about high performance trading and high performance trader. What are the trading strategy, the high performance trading cycle, the follow-up action? And so I'm happy to share the webinar. If you're interested, just drop me a line that you would like to get a recording. There was about 40 traders that attended, and we went to dinner afterwards. It was just absolutely fantastic. It was a lot of good information that we shared in there in the webinar. But really, the question you would have to ask is, where do you decide that it was the time to get in? And if you're underwater, when would you decide it's a wrong time? Because if you really want to be a good trader, pick up any trader that you absolutely love. In a modern day traders, you have David Ryan, maybe Mark Minervini, and whoever else that you follow, anybody that's associated with William O'Neill. I'm a big IBD fan. Lots of my swing trading processes are, I would say, 90% based on William O'Neill methods, and that's why I've been successful with my trading for last 3+ years. I've fully incorporated that model, and it works. You have to be disciplined, but it works. So that said, that's where you want to see where that goes. Now let's take a look at a couple other stocks. Now, I don't like Apple. That was a stock that came to my attention and during when we did a scanning on Saturday. So I'm not a big fan of Apple here because there's just no directions for Apple. Now this area on Apple right up here, if we get some type of a flush, then I'll be interested in Apple, and that will be the only time that I would get some Apple. All right, so next one I have is Tesla, and Tesla is in a free fall. I think 200 peer moving average is where we pick up Tesla at 200, and that'll be just fantastic. I will be just fine, 33%, and that would work for me. But that will be a good point here as well. Look, the weekly chart as well, and I think that's where Tesla is headed. As of now, there's no clear-cut buy signal in Tesla, so there's nothing to do. It's just simple as that. This one came up on my scanner. I think it's ALV. Yeah, ALV. This is ALV that came up on a scanner because the weekly chart, but it's not setting up. The Uber's starting to look pretty good. Look at this. This is like a cup is building here on the Uber. The weekly chart looks pretty good. First breakout bar here on volume, and now you have volume on this bar as well. Changing of a guard bar right into this support. So first break, move up, second break, move up, and now you're getting a rest, and I think we have room to move up to $50. So Uber is absolutely one of the top watches over maybe 45. It's trading above the 21 peer moving average on the hourly chart, broke the downtrend line. If any weakness here, if this opens up red and turns green, I'm interested in Uber. And then obviously the NYMO indicating that we could be ready for a bounce, and while no indicator is perfect, but I do use that for few of my scans. So let's take a look. DDOG is this came up as one of the members to look at. There's nothing to do with DDOG, and a few stocks that came from the members. AI is interesting on the weekly chart. Needs a little bit more time on the weekly chart, but I do like it. It's trading above the moving averages. This is stage 1, obviously right here, stage 1, stage 2, and this could have a continuation of stage 2 on AI. That is not bad, and that's a good one to keep an eye on. Carvana, there was interest in Carvana. I love the weekly chart on Carvana, and I personally think with a little bit of a right side building on Carvana, and this could be explosive, because on this pullback, look, there's no volume on this pullback, so this could be really good. So keep this on your radar. On, nothing to do here. Matter of fact, I like it short on under 29. And then IoT, that is also nothing to do here on IoT. And here and I'm gonna share something. AMAT, I do like this AMAT that came up on a scan. PanW reported earning on Friday, and it is now trading at it's up 25 bucks at 12% after earning, and I think the bid is 233. So 233 takes you right into resistance. So maybe pull back some time, and then I think it gets it gets sold on tomorrow. PLTR interesting, but it's not ready yet. So all these stocks that I've got a request to look at. These are all interesting. I don't think they're ready to go here. Same as SMCI. Snap is actually a short, setting up as a short, and then LSID, not much here to look at on LSID as well. Now let's take a look at some strong stocks. All right, so I'm going to show you what would it look like as a strong stocks. TJX, actually I like it a lot. Let me just get this up here so you can see it. All right, so here they're all, and I'll just use this since I have it open. It's much easier. I haven't moved it to TradeStation yet, but these are all sorted by relative strength, and when you look at the relative strength rating is 96, and I look at nothing but the best. So Adobe, this is going to be all on the weekly chart. Adobe, you can see what's going on with Adobe. Kind of a cup and handle. It's good. It's a strong stock. We got to see what's this. I love AAR. This is also a small cap here, and this can break out over 60. Looks pretty good. ALSN, it's an auto group. It's a little bit, it's need a pullback here. Not ready. Amazon is actually pretty interesting. Amazon here, I think 140. My next buy in Amazon will be right above here, 141.22. So absolutely keeping this as one of the top watches here. We already looked at ARES. BMI also looks pretty good here. Caterpillar that reported earning. I think you've got a couple of handles, but this needs some time to build the right side of the base. CLH, that one is also looking pretty good. It's a weekly 1, 2, 3. Could play above this, put a stop here and let it ride. Coco's also starting to look pretty good. This is a new one. And then I think I like the Decker here. Where is the Decker? Right here. I like the Decker here. And this is in an unbelievable uptrend, on the Decker. So hope you like it. A few other one, TJX over this 3 days could be really good. Keep an eye on this TJX. I actually like this TJX. Also keep an eye on Ross. Ross was a tier 1 gap. It's ran right into resistance on the weekly chart. Could see continuation on Monday, and some of these strong gaps that I wanted to bring it to your attention here to keep an eye for continuation. ANET looks very good. I mean, market pullback, hardly anything on ANET. The trigger will be 185, stop will be 175, and then new highs, because this is really nice base here on ANET. So with that, have a great rest of the day. Hope you have a great trading week and profitable. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay with Playbook Trading.